angels waging war in the unseen realm. Global events fulfilling biblical prophecy. Eternal life. What lies beyond mortality? From analyzing the paranormal from a biblical worldview to the discussion of cutting-edge science and technology, conspiracy, discovery, special investigative reports. Unafraid to explore the challenging issues facing humanity. Welcome to another edition of Skywatch TV.
Interstellar portals here on Earth, or perhaps interdimensional portals. Welcome to the Skywatch TV studios. I'm Derek Gilbert. We're in studio having a fascinating conversation today with the co-authors of the forthcoming book, On the Path of the Immortals, Tom Horn and Cris Putnam. Cris, portals, are they a scientific possibility?
They really are. I mean, people have heard about wormholes. The new movie Interstellar is really about this whole idea of what they call an Einstein-Rosen bridge, where basically you have a black hole on one end where it would suck you through, and they call it a white hole on the other end, where you would actually come out in a parallel universe, maybe a different time, or another part of the world, that sort of thing. So it's a very scientifically respectable idea. They've never really have any solid proof that they exist, but it's becoming more and more feasible. In fact, there's a new article saying that the Milky Way galaxy could be a galactic transport system. Now, I follow science pretty closely. I have a job as a consultant. I work for Cocoon Resources, which is a Christian venture capital group that basically invests in scientific enterprises. But my job is to vet these technologies to make sure that they are consistent with the Christian worldview. We don't want to be putting money into things that sponsor abortion or things that are against our values. And I really want to thank Catherine Bazemore personally, because she has been instrumental in freeing me up to do a lot of this research. Because of her support, I've had time to look at a lot of these issues that I wouldn't have time, in other words, if I was having to work a 9-to-5 job.
Sure, yeah. And
so this idea that the Milky Way galaxy is a galactic transport system gives so much feasibility to the things that we're talking about on the path of the immortals that it was the first chapter I wrote. Because I wanted to feel confident that the book we were writing wasn't just some kind of, fantastic, I mean,
it's okay to speculate, but
Right.
If you're going to speculate, label it as such. But if there is a possibility that this is a real thing, and it gets back to what we discussed, in the past about your book, The Supernatural Worldview, that science is discovering that the world is a lot stranger than we ever thought it was.
Exactly.
And speaking of science, Tom, we talked recently about CERN, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. They've just fired that up, interestingly, on Resurrection Sunday, Easter.
Right. Yeah, and they're warming it up. It's going to be many more times powerful, I guess, than what it has been in the past. They're going to spin some negative and positive charged particles, around in that Titanic machine, collide them together, and see what comes out of it. But yet it kind of goes along with what Cris was saying just now, because some of the most recent theories about the intergalactic transport system has to do with the question of black holes. If you remember the old ideas around Einsteinian theory, you would get discombobulated if you went through a black hole. It'd just strip all your atoms and pull you all apart, and that'd be the end of you. But evidently now they've got a new theory about how it might be spinning. It creates kind of centrifugal counterbalance or something that might allow you to actually navigate it through a ship without being pulled apart. And so what CERN is doing is they want to collide particles to try to kind of recreate what happened in the so-called Big Bang before the creation of the universe, because they want to create miniature black holes so that they can watch them to see if gravity might be escaping from our reality through those black holes into a parallel universe. It might be one of the first experiments we do that could illustrate the soundness of the theory that there are other realities that are around us. Of course, I could have grabbed my Bible and explained it to them, but they're approaching this from a scientific mindset. The new movie just came out, Interstellar, and they're saying that it's got the best scientific scientific recreated model for the idea of a traversable wormhole. And there's a growing body of scientists that believe that this theory might actually work. Now, you know, the director of CERN has also said when they open that doorway there in St. Pouilly, that something might come through it into our reality.
Yes.
Or we might send something that way. So the doorways that we talk about in On the Path of the Immortals, there's a chapter in there that deals with CERN. Are we going to open a doorway? It could be quite concerning.
Yeah.
Well, the idea of a traversable wormhole was considered too fantastic to be possible because the sheer force of the gravity would rip you apart, right? There's a scientist named Carr came up with what they call a Carr black hole. And what that means is it's spinning, okay? And the force of the spinning actually counteracts the gravity where it wouldn't tear you apart. And so this is the idea. So if you have it spinning just at the right speed, you could actually go through it and survive it, okay? What they've determined is all spiral galaxies probably have a black hole
In the center.
in the middle. Now, you start looking in the Bible. What is Elijah? He goes up, what, in a whirlwind?
Yeah,
What's a
yeah.
whirlwind?
Yeah.
Right? And you look at, if you start looking at that whirlwind, you look up gateway in the Bible, you start seeing it all throughout it. And you start to think, is this talking about these portals? Possibly. It really does sound like it when you look at it that way.
And it makes it even more intriguing. The pictures of that Norway spiral from last year, whatever that happened to be, it certainly does make that more intriguing. What are the Immortals? Who are they? And will they use a portal such as this to return someday? You'll find out in upcoming episodes of Skywatch TV as we discuss the book On the Path of the Immortals. Tom Horn and Cris Putnam. For Skywatch TV, I'm Derek Gilbert.